Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to have a chat about that precious collection box. Because it seems, ladies and gentlemen, that things have gotten, well, to put it bluntly, a little bit silly. Now, for those of you that may have forgotten, I know I've described this as one of the best Pokemon TCG products ever, and this is one of those ones where I make that claim, and then I have to come back a little while later and have a little think about this and decide, was I being hyperbolic? Was I going over the top? Or actually, was this as good as I was making out all the way along? And actually, ladies and gentlemen, I've sat down, I've had a good old think about it, and I have decided that no, I was not going over the top. I was not exaggerating. This is one of the very best, and I mean this sincerely, Pokemon TCG products that they've ever released. It is amazing. Now, for those of you that may have forgotten, what you basically get here is a card box and a frame and a binder. We'll have a little bit of a better look at those in a moment. And they are really cool, incidentally. But the real high point here, let's be honest, the real high point here is the Pikachu promo. Now, firstly, just from a pure artwork standpoint, this is one of the very best artworks we've seen. This is absolutely amazing. Just trying to translate this on the fly. So it's free energy, 90 damage. This Pokemon also takes 30 damage. So yeah, the Pokemon does 30 to itself while doing 90 for free energy. The card's terrible playability-wise, but you've got a bunch of cool cards. But I want you to look closer, because if we have a look there, we've got Crobat. And actually, in terms of, looking competitively, okay, fine, it's not like that anymore. But we had a long time in the game where Crobat was the default draw engine for basically every deck. We've seen times where both of the Urshifu, and I know only one of them's represented here, but we've seen times where both of the Urshifu have ended up being very good and very playable. This is single strike if anyone's wondering, but like I've said, both of them have been good. Obviously, in the early days of Sword and Shield, when we had the Sword and Shield base set, Zacian really was like the best card in the game, and it remained that way for a long time, not just as a great attacker, though it was, but also for the attack, the base or ability that drew free and ended your turn. But that was played in a bunch of other decks just as a draw engine. We've got Inteleon there, and obviously the Inteleon engine has been a very big part of the game as we've been going through. We've got Shadow Rider Calyrex there, which, okay, maybe not quite on the level of some of these, but this was certainly a very hyped card and one that's seen a bunch of play. And then we've got Hisuian Zoroark, and again, that one's not really shown up, although it has in a few tournaments. It's not shown off to be quite as good as it maybe could have been, but it's still a good relevant card that a bunch of people have played. And we've got good relevant Pokemon that have been relevant in the Sword and Shield metagame all the way through. That for me is one of the things that makes this so cool. And this was done on a made to order thing. So I showed you initially that it was up there, and then I showed you a bit later when they reopened it. And it was put up for 17,600 yen. And what was amazing about this was that it was made to order. 17,600 yen is $125 or £105 roughly. But being made to order was amazing. Now, they didn't ship internationally, so you did, if you were like me and not in Japan, you did have to muck about with a proxy address, but anyone could order this. I woke up at like 7 in the morning, hours after they'd gone up, and I got mine in. And everybody did. They were up there for a period of time, and all you had to do was get in there before the deadline, and you would get them. And now they actually said ship sequentially from the end of December. They've actually ended up shipping in the past week or so. So they've actually started sending out already. Mine, I am delighted to say, I just got a note from Tenso, the proxy address service I use. Not an endorsement, just telling you which one I use. Do your research, choose your own. But I just got a note from them that something's arrived. And then I went onto my Pokemon Center account and I had a quick little cheeky look. And it's showing as shipped, and I think that means my special collection box is there, and I am delighted. But this is like a $125 box. It's a premium box, don't get me wrong, but it's basically on the same lines as the Charizard Ultra Premium Collection. That is, of course, a $120 product. So this is basically the same kind of thing. It is a $120-ish product. It is a very premium product, and it is designed for the Pokemon TCG uber nerds like me. The kind of people that are willing to drop $120 on a product if it is sufficiently cool. And like I've said, the promo card alone makes it cool. And the lovely Antoine Boulet has pointed this out, but I've got to kind of echo this. What's going on? Because the price of this has absolutely exploded. Now, outside of Japan, I get it. Because not everybody wants to use a proxy address or is comfortable using a proxy address, and this product is not available outside of Japan. But what is super confusing to me is that inside Japan, this is going crazy. And I'm going to steal Antoine's tweet here. Someone explained to me how a box that was made to order for 17,600 yen a few months ago is now selling for 3 times the price as soon as they started being shipped. I mean, who's buying it now at that price that didn't order it then? And you'll see if we take I'm not actually averaging it out, but it seems like 53,000 yen is about the middle point there. I'm not actually finding the middle point, but it's rough and it will do. Well, 53,000 yen is a lot more. That's $380 or £315. Which is weirdly like exactly treble. Remember I told you it was £105 at RRP. Now I will pay £105 for this and, sheepishly explain to the wife that it's really pretty and we need it. I will not pay 315 quid for this. That is absolutely absurd. That is way too much money. And quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not doing it. But it's a very interesting point that these are, the screenshot here is from Macari that Antoine's using. And essentially, all of these people are people in Japan who are ordering this box for 3 times the price they could have got it. And remember, it was made to order. So these aren't people that tried to order and missed out. These are people that could have just got it made to order. Now, there might be an element here of some of these sales might be from outside Japan, because if you go on Macari, there are third-party services that will basically buy it for you and ship it out, kind of like using a proxy address, but as a one-off. And maybe that's it. Maybe these aren't people in Japan, maybe these are people outside of Japan, and this is the cheapest way to do it. Because if you head on over to US eBay, no. Now, if we look at this first image, it doesn't look too bad. $187.30. Okay. For a $125 box, that seems pretty reasonable. And then we keep looking and we read it and we go, well, hang on a second. You get the display frame and the card box and the collection file, the binder. Isn't something missing? Yeah, the promo. The best bit about the box. The promo, ladies and gentlemen. The promo is missing. And then if you see those other listings, the $35 one is actually just for the acrylic card case. And then the $95 one is just for the binder. And then we go, well, hang on a second. How much are people charging for the whole box? $500. And there's one there for $460. 7 of them are sold and one's left. So when I tell you $460, I'm not talking about, some ridiculous listing that someone's put up that nobody's going to pay. People are paying this. People are happily paying $460 for this box that was a $125 product in Japan. Now, when it comes to proxy addresses, I use them pretty regularly. I've actually got a parcel on the way from Tenso as we speak. Should be here after the weekend. And I've got my V-Star Universe pre-order along with this. So I'm going to have another box coming at the end of next week is going to be shipped over. I'm very comfortable using them. I know not everybody is, and my advice is always very simply, if you don't feel comfortable using something like a proxy address, don't use it, because there is an awful lot that can go wrong. You're navigating Japanese websites, and it all gets very awkward. However, this is a strong argument for using services like that if you feel comfortable doing so, because this is a $125 box that people are paying $500 for. That is 4 times what they cost over in Japan. But I've shown you the box as a whole. You know, my first question here was, well, all right then, what about the promo? Because it seems like if you're willing to buy the box without the promo, it's a lot cheaper. So what's going on with the price of the promo? Well, I'm going to be honest, I'm annoyed at whoever's trying to sell that Lenovo ThinkPad. It's totally ruining my picture here. But you'll notice that I just searched on Mercari, just searched the number of the promo, and you'll see 40,000 yen all day long. And bearing in mind, you know, one's gone for 40, but there's also a couple 41.5, 45, 44, 47, 48. So let's take 45,000 yen as a rough midpoint. This promo over on Mercari is selling for $320 or £270. The raw promo. These aren't graded or any of that. This is just the promo. And yeah, things are starting to get a little bit silly. Trying to pick up this promo, it's significantly more than the cost of the box. Like I say, I paid $125 for just for the whole box, sorry. And now, just the promo is $325. Which is absolutely absurd, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely absurd. If we go and have a little bit of a look on eBay, because, you know, maybe there's some bargains to be had. I hate to break it to you, ladies and gentlemen, there aren't. Here's 3 of the more reasonable listings in a row, and we've got $395, $490, and $385. That's quite a lot more. So actually, to be honest with you, you're probably better off trying to get it on Mercari, because, I mean, Mercari might be selling this promo for $325, but that's still a lot less than $400. So it's kind of cheaper. And here's the thing. At this point in the video, I would usually try and, you know, bring a little bit of calm and say, look, it's going to get reprinted. It's going to be fine. It's going to get better. I don't think it's going to. Now, again, let's be perfectly clear. This is a prediction on my part and nothing more. But these were put up as made to order a while ago. These aren't new things. I mean, I'm just double checking when I save these images, because that will tell me when these went up for order. June. These were put up for order in June of this year, and they're being shipped out in November. And they were put up as made to order, not as a super limited run. So I don't think it's really realistic to assume this is going to be reprinted. I'm assuming they are printing all the ones they can, and that's it. There will be no more coming. So, I mean, look, in the short term, they have only just started sending these precious collector boxes out. So what that means is that there is going to be a period of time now where more and more are sent out and more find their way onto the market. And that should, in the short term, bring the price down a little bit. Now, I'm not saying it's going to bring the price down a lot, but it should bring the price down a little bit in the short term, because actually, you know, this is right at the beginning when the first few are going up. More of these, as time goes by, are going to be released and are going to find their way out there. But then they're going to stop. And at that point, there aren't going to be any more. So actually, yeah, if you really do want to pick one of these up on the secondary market, I would at least give it a few weeks to let some more hit the market. I'm not promising that will bring the price down, but that's my prediction. It is nothing more than a prediction. But I think, ladies and gentlemen, this is never going to be reasonable, and for that, I can only apologise. But for now, I want to know what you think about this. I want to know if you've ordered this. I want to know anything you want to tell me, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWasi. That's where we talk Pokemon and card games and Pokemon card games, all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel. You can get some bonus podcasts to answer all of your questions. You can join a Discord and chat with us. And you can get shout-outs like the lovely Noah Zoldak, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now, a couple of years at this stage. Thank you to Noah for the support and for being a very lovely person. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.